Prince Harry. His upcoming memoir is apparently unlikely to be on his father's reading list, as reports emerge that neither Charles nor William will be shown a manuscript before publication. Sources close to the Prince of Wales have suggested he was hoping to see a copy of his son's book before it's published. The memoir, set to be released before the end of this year, is described as intimate and heartfelt. Harry has previously said he's excited for people to read a first-hand account of his life that's accurate and wholly truthful. But does his family have a right to prepare themselves for potentially explosive revelations in this book? I mean, and there will have to be explosive revelations in this book, because the publisher is not going to cough up for a load of old dirge that Harry said before.
Spotify coughed up 18 million for nothing, didn't they?
Well, more for them.
Well, exactly. And the point is, if you look at this, and we were talking about this last week, but that this is all going to be about a blaze of publicity, isn't it? It's going to be literally dropped on the ground and see how people react. So, I mean, isn't this about them trying to scrape together what's left of their careers? I'm not a fan.
I'm not surprised if there's anything interesting in here. I really would. I think it is about publicity, and I think you can sell a book without anyone reading the book. I don't think if there was anything really awful in there. I just can't believe there will be.
And I think you'd be legitimate to say, will it all be truthful? It'll be an opinion. And look at the claims about Meghan when she did the opera interview. There are about 3 or 4 things in there that have been challenged, and they're in court somewhere.
It's going to be littered with "this is my truth."
Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
My journey.
They harnessed this idea, didn't they, of what is their truth, and as opposed to the truth, as if there is a kind of subjective truth that is somehow truthful to you, but may not be true to other people. That's a really deeply sort of dubious concept, isn't it? You think, oh God, what does that mean? This is my truth.
Come on, if something happens and me and you, we have an argument, we're getting on lovely, but, you know, I will see it from my point of view and I'll say, well, he said this, and then I said, because that's the way we all remember post, we justify for ourselves and we find the other person guilty. And I think my issue, not my issue with them, I just think they're not any more spoilt or entitled than anyone else in that family.
But don't you think they are trying to push the envelope as far as they can here? And the lawyers are all over this book at the moment. That's why it hasn't been released. They're trying to work out what they can and cannot get away with.
My thing about them is they're showbiz now. They're not. He's royal by birth, but he's a celebrity, and I think this is what you expect from they're a celebrity couple. They're not a royal couple, and I think they see themselves as a celebrity couple, and as such, they act accordingly. So I think we need to adjust our view of who
lots of celebrity couples?
And what happens to lots of normal couples? Lots of normal couples get divorced.
For example, Harry writes very movingly and from the heart about how he felt, for example, having to walk behind his mother's coffin. We've never heard his own words about that. What if he writes, for example, about all the controversy surrounding the Queen at that time and how she behaved and didn't behave, and she finally returned to Buckingham Palace. They finally lowered the flag. She finally responded to public opinion. What if he writes about that? What if he writes, and I'd be fascinated actually to read this, what if he writes about how he really feels about Camilla? I mean, all we've ever seen is a kind of cordial civility. What if actually the boys detested her? What if they blame her?
Well, they did detest her, and that has been quite well documented.
So what if he tells the truth about that?
Well, if he does, they can't fight back.
Well, they can fight back because they brief all the time. They can't, but they brief. The thing is, if they wanted them to play nicely in the sandpit, they should have just said, OK, this half-house royal, we don't love it, but that would have given them an element of control over what's going on. The minute that they kind of played hardball, and they played hardball back, there was no returning from there. And I think the royal family are the losers in this because they're not going to write books. But I think they didn't make the smart decision when they should have made the smart decision, and I think that's what's led to everything combusting.
I mean, just going back to your point, it's interesting what you're saying about what Harry and William felt about walking behind the coffin, because they have spoken about that, but about 10 years ago, and they said that they really, really didn't want to do it. And then Charles, also there, Diana's brother, has also publicly said that he was lied to, that he was told the boys had personally requested to walk behind the coffin, and that was the only reason that he sort of allowed it. And then he found out later that he'd been lied to, and that their boys were forced to do it.
What is the Queen going to think of all of this? I feel very sorry for her. This is a woman devoting her whole life to public service and to this country. And it feels to me as though her whole family is having a spat in front of her, literally in her final days when she's done so much for the country. And I feel really sorry for her.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think she's probably quite glad that William's moving in round the corner, because I think she's probably a bit closer to William than she is to Charles, and certainly than Harry anymore, because she misses him, because Harry always made her laugh. He was...
That's right.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind either reading about, you know, why Harry fell for Meghan. If he tries to tell his truth about what it was, why did he fancy her so much, what was it about the allure of her, and then also his truth about what happened once they were married. I mean, I think I would read it. I would watch the Andrew musical. I would read the book. God damn it, I haven't got time to come and work here. I'm too busy. There's too busy policing the royal family every minute of the day. Blimey.